his fantasy. He used to believe in something. What happened? Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. A Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality, totally lost in. What can we do but mock him relentlessly? It's not a Gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not Gnostic change. And a grip Mary Nardini tells us queer liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity. Gender binary and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. Is to believe in something. What happens for liberty? Gnostic sex cult, building its own world. The Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. It's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly?
I really do have to get another intro song, especially if I'm just going to do a late night stream where I'm just going to talk and pontificate, because it does feel like a little inappropriate to use that song for everything, but it's such a good song and I had it stuck in my head all day. And so, whatever. Hey guys, welcome to late night stream. It's after midnight. The glasses are off, as it were. I just wanted to talk about some stuff, and I don't know if anyone's actually going to show up and listen to this, but I just wanted to pontificate on the internet at midnight and talk about some stuff. I continue in my head to debate, and it's ironic because it's really not a debate, but it is a debate, but it's not a debate, but it is a debate. It's like, how much do I care about reaching a larger audience with my content? Because I'm absolutely positive that my content is the best way to teach people about what the left is doing. I don't think there's anyone even close to me. I don't think, I don't think there's anyone close to me in that regard. Yesterday's stream has made me want to make an AI rap song about James Lindsay being a thief. Well, I think everyone should make as much AI music as they want. And guys, you can make songs about things that aren't James Lindsay. By the way, like, everyone should be making songs. If you're going to play around with AI music, make songs about other things. It doesn't have to be about James. We can expand the catalog, all right? I mean, do it, follow your bliss, do what you want to do. But keep in mind, I made one song about James. Like, I'm moving on. I'm actually working on an AI song about the 4 goals of the woke left. I'm just not happy with it yet. And so there are other things that we can do with AI, and I actually think that, you know, if you overuse something, then it loses its effectiveness. So, I mean, do what you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but like, I would try something else, to be honest. Um, so what was I saying? Like, so there's this ongoing debate in my head about like, so like I know I am like absolutely positive that I'm the very, very, very best person teaching what the left is doing today. I'm positive of this. There's no one that is even close to me, not the people who have been so-called studying Marxism for years and years and years and years and years, or writing books about them, or any like I would put my catalog of work and the knowledge of my audience up against any of them. And most of them probably know more about like the, historical markers and all the turn of events like have been of communist movements in the past. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like what the left is doing today. I am more hinged into what the left is doing today than anyone else that I know, by far. Like, not even close. And not only am I hinged into it, I know how to teach it. I figured it out. I figured out how to teach it to people in a way that normal people can understand it. So there's that. Then there's the other half of me that's like, I do not want to play the game that I know is required in order to get my content out to more people. I just don't want to do it. I do not want to do it. Like, every single fiber of my being is adverse to this idea. And every once in a while I kind of come around and I start to have a conversation with myself. I'm like, Carlin, if you really want to reach a broader audience, you know exactly what you fucking need to do to reach a broad. And I do know what I need to do to reach a broader audience. And I start thinking about that and I'm like, aren't you doing a disservice to people? And then part of me is like, well, maybe. But then the other part of me, like, I mean, immediately my entire fucking body locks down. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. I am completely 100% adverse to doing what I know is required to schmooze and network and go on the shows and kiss everyone's ass and be nice and don't say anything out of turn and definitely don't tell the truth about people and definitely don't question the wrong people and definitely don't question the wrong subjects. It's gonna fuck everything up. And then just like kiss everyone's ass. And if I really wanted to be the very best shiller I could be, I would convert to Christianity and go talk about how I was saved by Jesus and all this stuff. I know exactly what I need to do. If I started a Twitter account today that was like, just like I could make up some sort of like AI person, and all I did was tweet the things that conservatives would love to hear, and I fucking know what they all are. I know what all the keywords are. I know all the reply guy shit that I would need to do. I know exactly what to do, and I would be able to build that up to like, probably like over 100,000 followers, not even trying that hard, just by shilling the right talking points. I know exactly what I need to fucking do to get it in front of more people, and I am completely unwilling to do it. I am completely unwilling to do it. So then people try to gaslight me, and they've been gaslighting me today on Twitter. They're like, "Well, you're either they're literally telling me this. You're either selfish or you will do what's required to teach as many people as possible." And I'm like, really? Because I don't want to. Like, are you telling me if I don't betray every value I have, completely chuck authenticity out the window, like, if I don't do that, if I can't look myself in the mirror without saying you didn't sell out, you're telling me that if I betray what I believe in and how I believe is correct to operate, then I'm selfish? No, I don't think that that's true. I mean, it is a selfish act, but it's also like, how fucking gaslighting and bullshit does it have to be for you to say you will either betray every value you have or you are just a selfish bitch that doesn't want people to win? I'm like, I'm putting all the content out there for free all day, every day. People can come and watch it if they want. Anyone can come and watch my streams. All of it's out there for free. And you're telling me I'm selfish if I don't consider the tone that you find acceptable? Go fuck yourself. You deserve to lose. And that's honestly how I feel. If people are going to put their fucking fragile sensibilities ahead of what is true and what is real and what is observable, then they don't deserve to win. They deserve to lose, and so far as I'm concerned, they deserve to suffer because their coddling of their feelings as their highest fucking priority is disgusting to me. I find it abhorrent. So I have this ongoing debate with myself of like, how much do you actually want to grow your audience? Because I do want my audience to grow, but I don't know how to find the right people. This is and part of me is starting to question if they're even out there. Part of me is like, does this audience even exist? Does an audience exist that like I talked about this earlier. I know, and this has been true my entire life. And so if it's been true my entire life, I'm 43 years old. It's never going to change now, right? It's like people either love me or hate me. A lot of people hate me. A lot of people fucking hate me. A lot of people who had never talked to me hate me. A lot of people who've never watched my content hate me. And they will never be able to get past that hate. And I know that. That's been true my entire life. Am I going to apologize for that? Am I going to say, I am a horrible person and that's why so many people hate me? No, I'm not going to do that because fuck those people. Those are not my people. And the balance to a whole bunch of people hating me is that I have a lot of people who fucking love me. Just the way I am. I don't have to change for them. I don't have to police my tone for them. They overlook my swearing. They overlook my shouting. They overlook everything because they fucking love me. And if they're honest about it, they probably love the swearing and they probably love the shouting and they probably love all that stuff. So I know there are people out there that are perfect for my audience. I know there are people out there that want to do the deep dives that I'm doing. I know all of this exists. I just don't know how to find them. I have no idea. I truly and sincerely have no idea. And we've been down this road before where I come on the stream and I go, I have no idea what show I could even go on. I really don't. And people are like people in my feed today were like, well, why don't you talk to Nick Fuentes and Lauren Chen? You like them. And yeah, I do like them. But Nick Fuentes' audience is not my audience. Like, I'm not doing this thing with Nick where I'm kind of like, I want like kind of on his side, kind of like cordial, like friendly, like whatever. I'm not doing it because I want his clout. I'm not doing it because I want his audience because I quite frankly do not think his audience is fit for my content. I just don't. I've tried. I tried with the gripers, and I'm not going to say there are no gripers who watch my content because that's just not true. There are absolutely gripers who watch my content. But not a lot, and that's fine. But we also need to be honest that is not my audience. A, I'm way too old for them. B, I'm way too much of a woman for them. C, my audience is about teaching. So this is a classroom. I am in charge. They are not in charge. They don't like that. They don't like being explained to by women. They're all obsessed with Nick. They give all their money to Nick. So like I'm under no illusion that this is an audience that I can get to sign up for my Substack, that I can get to buy merch, that I can get to fund. I'm under no illusion that any of that is true. And so I have to like you have to ask, like, do I like Nick? Yes, I like Nick. I like Nick quite a bit. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff Nick says, which is the obligatory thing you have to say. Otherwise, you're going to get canceled on the fucking internet. But it is actually true, too. Like, I don't agree with a lot of what Nick says, but that doesn't mean that I don't like him. Like, I like him a lot. But I don't like his audience. I don't like his friends. So is that a good person for me to collaborate with? I mean, probably not. I do think the conversation would be interesting. But I also think that that's dangerous for Nick, quite frankly, because I think I could humanize Nick in a way that I don't think he necessarily wants to be humanized anyway. So I don't think that would work out, and I don't think it would benefit the work I'm doing at all. It may just be like an entertaining exercise, but I don't think it would be anything more than that. And to be quite frank, it would probably actually make Nick's audience hate me even more than they already do. For the ones that do hate me, because they're going to be like, oh, she's lecturing, oh, she's fat, oh, she's like, like they always do. So that's not a good audience. I look at Lauren Chen's audience. I like Lauren Chen a lot. Lauren Chen is based. She is responsible. I think she's pragmatic. I think she's got a good head on her shoulders. I have no beef with Lauren Chen at all. I like her a lot. I also don't think her audience is a good audience for what I'm doing because they're watching Lauren Chen for a reason. Lauren Chen and I do very different things. I do not think that Lauren Chen's audience is a good fit for me in terms of like, I can't I just maybe it's a little bit better than Nix's, but, like, I don't see that working. I don't do entertainment, I don't do pop culture, I don't do this internet gossip stuff. I don't do that. Not on a regular basis, maybe every once in a while, but I don't think that's a good audience. Also, I don't even think Lauren knows actually what I do. And that's no again, no shade on her, but it's like if I'm interacting with someone that and they aren't following along this type of content that I am, like I am, it's extremely hard for me to go on their show and reach their audience, and I know this because I've tried it, so that's not going to work out either. Um, this is not the right audience, guys. It is not the fucking right audience. I'm sorry. If you're watching Ariel Scarcella do 10-minute videos where she's talking about gay stuff and lesbian stuff and MAGA stuff, that's not a good audience for me. It's not. And again, that's no shade on her. It is not the right fit. I have no idea who this person is, and I would strongly bet that I know more about this subject than he does. And so I don't think that this is a good fit either because again, I've gone on these shows before where it has not been a good fit, where the person interviewing me didn't understand it, and it was a shit show at best. And then it becomes an exercise in me trying very hard not to embarrass the host. That's what that always turns into. Because the host starts asking me these stupid fucking questions that I could run them over so easily, but then I'm like in my head, I'm not going to go on someone else's show and purposely try to embarrass them unless they do something to me, and then I will absolutely do it back to them. But like, I would just have to be like, I would be trying not to embarrass him in front of his own audience. So I don't think that's a good fit. Well, this is it though. I guarantee you know more than him. Yes. But he wouldn't study my content beforehand. He wouldn't do that. They never do. Even the ones that promise. I've had multiple people that they promise me. I give them the How to Speak Socialist thing. They say, well, absolutely watch it. We're going to study this. And I tell them like, this interview is going to suck if you don't actually do this. And then they don't do it. And then they lie about it. And then like in the interview, I know they're lying about it because like I can tell who's actually engaged with it and who hasn't, like very easily. It's not that hard. And so I know they're lying about it. And then I'm just like, okay, so this is a giant waste of my time. Giant waste of my time. Dave Smith is afraid of me. Dave Smith has always been afraid of me. Dave Smith, back in 2021, agreed to talk to me on like multiple occasions because there were a whole bunch of people in the Mises Caucus who were on Dave Smith's ass. And I reached out to Dave probably half a dozen times after he agreed to talk to me. And he never answered. And then I've been at in-person events with Dave on 2 different occasions where Dave looked me right in the fucking eye and then turned and walked away as though he had no idea who I was. But it was one of those things where he was like purposely, like if he makes eye contact with me, it's like one of those things where he looks away real quick because he's pretending he didn't make eye contact with me because he knows exactly who I fucking am and he's afraid of me. So that ain't gonna work out. See, I mean, it's like Jimmy Dore is not my audience. No. And I mean, Glenn Greenwald, maybe. Glenn Greenwald is maybe the closest thing that we might be starting to get to for an audience that I think could be productive. Jimmy Dore, absolutely not going to work. Like, see, this is the problem. I have no idea where my fucking audience is. I have no idea. I truly, 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 truly don't. Yeah, he's older. That's not going to work. So I don't know what to do. And so like, do I really dumb down the content? Because I don't know how much more dumbed down I can get while still actually hinging into reality. Because they never want to talk about what the problem is. You guys understand that, right? They never want to talk about what the problem is. The problem is capitalism. That is what they're trying to abolish. That is their problem. That capitalism is defined as private property ownership. We know all the things that are considered private property: home, business, land, intellectual property, rental units, parental rights, individual liberties. We know all that. That is really unsexy for people to talk about. They don't want to talk about it because it's like, oh, duh, of course we know they want to abolish capitalism, but none of them can define capitalism and none of them know what capitalism actually means. So they just don't want to talk about it, and that's the only fucking thing that matters. And so do I pretend that this is about some fucking race issue because it's not? Do I pretend that this is about like saving children from the groomers because it's not? Now, if I did those things, if I lied, maybe I plant the seed and then I have to explain later, well, why did you lie on that show when you said it was about race if you're saying whiteness means capitalism now? And like, what do I say to that? Do I say, oh, I had to lie because that's the only way I can get on shows to expand my audience is to lie to the people interviewing me because they don't want to know the truth. Now, but now you're here and now I can tell you the truth, right? Getting a water. And then all of a sudden, do I have to be nice to all of these people who I absolutely loathe? Like, loathe. Loathe in a way that I cannot even adequately explain. Most of the people that have large audiences absolutely disgust me in their behaviors. I find them to be just like, I find them to be fucking evil. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I find them to be evil. And so, do I want to humble myself? As the conservatives would always say, humble yourself or you don't really care about your mission. Go fuck yourself. What you literally in the same breath will say, I can't do this because Jesus told me so. It is against my core values. And in the same breath, you will tell me that I have to give up everything that I believe in or I'm selfish. Go fuck yourself. It's just like, I don't know. So what you're saying is I would have to bring him up to speed on everything from scratch because he's not going to understand that and he's not going to like that because that's going to hurt his fragile little ego and it's not going to work out. And even me saying that on the internet, it's like I'm not allowed to say that on the internet either, even though it's the truth. Yeah, I don't think Lauren Southern has any interest in what I'm doing. I don't think Lauren Southern would be a good person. Like, I don't think her audience would be good for this. I don't think we do very different things. Like it's like you can't just like they don't understand what I'm doing. And there's no way they're going to learn. And it's like they don't have to. I mean, it's pretty much an unreasonable request for me to demand that people learn what I'm doing before I talk to them. But it's the only way it works, and I know this. It is literally the only way it works because if they do not understand what I'm doing, they ask me shitty questions, and then the interview becomes about me not making them look stupid. And it doesn't do anything for me, and it doesn't get me any new audience members, and it doesn't advance what I want to advance at all. It literally is just providing them content where I'm catering to them to make them not look stupid on their own show. Well, this doesn't help me expand the audience though. And who are they? Who are they? I have no idea who they are. Who are they? Because all I see are a bunch of fucking grifting, wannabe internet famous, can't do anything else other than try to be famous on the internet, retarded losers, to be honest. That's how I perceive most content creators. I'm not trying to be mean. That's actually how I perceive them. Remember, I never set out to do this. This just happened. And so then I had this platform. I was like, well, you should take advantage and try to do something with it. But I never set out to do this. I think there are basically zero smart people who set out to be YouTubers. And by the way, even the nice ones, even the ones that I think are genuinely nice people and good people, and I have met a lot of those. I'm not going to name them because I'm about to say something mean about them. Even the people who I genuinely like, they're not interested in solving any problems. They're interested in being famous on the internet. Even the ones I like, they will not deviate from what is required for them to be famous on the internet because being famous on the internet is their highest priority. Making money on the internet is their highest priority. Like who? This is the problem. This is the problem. And so it's like I don't know. How did people here find me? Maybe we talk about that. How did you find me? Been doing YouTube a long time, and influencers of all stripes are disgusting. Politics, music, drama, music production, it's constant. We keep to ourselves because of this. Evil doesn't describe. See, this is accurate. They're all fucking gross. Honest to God. All of them. I appreciate the super chat. Well, that's never going to happen again. So that we can just cross that one off the list. We can also, by the way, cross off the list any Zionist influencers because that ain't going to work. So basically, anyone supporting Israel, we can cross them off the list. Anyone who supported Ron DeSantis, we can cross them off the list. Yeah, you were actually searching for someone like me. So this is a rarity when you're actually searching for someone like me. Because most people like me have no idea that I exist. Bro, get serious. No, that would literally never happen. Yep, well, Dave Rubin is certainly one of the people that's crossed off the list. And he is boring. They will do anything to become famous on the internet. Anything. I don't know him. I don't know him. I know that he says more base things than most people, but I don't know him. I have no contact with him. And this is the other thing too. Even with people that I'm like, maybe, I am uninclined to do anything that would make this happen. This is the other thing. I do not like shilling myself out there. I do not like it. I've never liked it. Like, the thought of it actually upsets me. I'm actually upset right now even thinking about this. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to go on Alex Jones. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Everyone who found me from Dave's show doesn't watch anymore. No, that's not going to work out, bro. That's not going to work out. Zionist. That's not going to work out. Nope, that would definitely not work out now. Absolutely not. So it's like, and I've eliminated both of those options in this thing. I do not want to go on Alex Jones. I don't want to do it. And even though I like Nick, I don't think that's a good fit for the audience. I just don't think so. I have already said Lauren Chen. I like Lauren Chen a lot. Not the best audience for me, and I don't think it would be a good interview. Like, why? I'm not selling entertainment, guys. I'm not selling commentary. I'm not selling a brand. I'm not selling a personality. I'm selling the truth. And so you're telling me you're listing all these influencers, but none of their audiences really want the truth. They want to be entertained. That's all they want. They're all grifters. They're all grifters. And the thought of going on some of these people's shows, it's stomach churning for me in a way that I can't express. And it's not because of like nerves, it's because I just find it so disgusting. Maybe I really am traumatized from like what happened in 2020. Maybe I really am because honestly, there is just like I can't explain this because most people want to go on these shows and most people want to be famous and I didn't mind doing it in 2020, but then looking back and looking back with clear eyes and seeing how I was used by all these people to shill a narrative that they never actually believed in anything that they said. It truly and sincerely churns my stomach. Like it makes me upset. Honestly, like I must be still traumatized by this because like and it sounds so silly, right? You were traumatized by going on shows on the internet. Well, yeah, when you realize that you're just a fucking pawn in a narrative building machine and that none of what you thought and I was doing it because I thought it was the right thing to do to like I was so fucking naive and stupid. Like I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do and and I was just used and it's just like it's fucking gross. It's like I can't explain it. I cannot explain how I can't explain what thinking about it makes me feel like. I really do want to cry. It's like, holy shit. It sucks to look back and know that that's what happened. It sucks. It sucks so bad. Yeah, that's not going to work. I tried. He did never responded. He does actually follow me, but I met him through Dave Rubin, and so that's not going to work. I'm not interested at all in any way. That's not going to work for either of them, I don't think. Well, Adam Green's coming on the show on Thursday. I do like Adam Green. I like Adam Green a lot, but I mean, I definitely got people from going on Adam's show. I definitely did, but I also just there were so many people in that audience that just like and Adam swears that wasn't his normal audience, but that was just like a not good experience at all. I'm not willing to kiss Styx's ass. Not willing to do it. Mm-mm. Absolutely not willing to do it. No, I don't think that's going to work out. Not interested. Do you honestly think that Russell Brand and Russell Brand's audience is a good fit for what I do? Like, really? 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 I don't. And I don't want to do what's required to make that happen. I just could I probably do it if I wanted to? Yeah, maybe, but like I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. Well, this is exactly it. They don't want the truth. They want what sounds nice to their audience and they want what builds a political narrative and that's it. And I'm just really not willing. I am not willing to placate their fragile sensibilities. Yeah, see, people don't realize this. They don't realize this. You know, I get people who, the ones that hate me on the internet, they're like, Carlin, you burned bridges with so many people, and it is obviously your fault. You burned bridges with all these people, and you would be able to go on their shows if you hadn't. And it's like, you know what? Do you really think that I want to bridge with these people? Because I do not want to bridge with these people. If there is anything that I've learned in the last 4 years, it's that You do not trade a guest appearance on a show with a large audience for associating yourself with horrible, rotten people who would throw you under the bus in a heartbeat and have no problem doing it as long as it meant maintaining their status and making their money. You don't do that. And if that means that less people see what you're doing, then fine. But it's just like, it's really effing bad. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not. Did you guys see that Tim Pool demanded a private plane from Patrick Bet David? I was like, what the fuck? Patrick Bet David called him out on Twitter. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. It's actually literally on my timeline right now. Did you guys see this? So Tim apparently was talking about how he was invited to be part of some debate and he turned it down. And then Patrick Bet David responded, "Turned it down. Our team and your team spoke. Your booker said you wanted us to fly you down in a private jet, which was strange, especially after I attended your paid event in Miami for free. Let us know if you want to see the email exchange. I'll wait." And then Tim says, "Yeah, I turned it down because it's impossible for me to fly there. I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I wanted to call him out. I just can't afford to fly to Miami on a Friday night or make it in time if I fly on Saturday morning. I got no beef." Listen, man, I have flown long enough to know that there are a metric ton of direct flights to Miami and that you can probably get one of those direct flights on a Friday night that will get you there by Saturday morning. And you're going to tell me Tim Pool couldn't have figured that shit out? Bro, come on. Well, I know this, Natalie, and I appreciate you and I adore you and you're awesome. But what we're talking about, though, is like the ongoing conflict I have in my head of like, do I want to expand my audience or do I want to tell everyone to fuck off and just continue like not and continue being upset that James Lindsay is lying to people and dragging everyone off the Gnosticism cliff? That's really the question. Because I know for sure that if I actually wanted to grow an audience that was the size of James Lindsay's, I could fucking do it. I know for sure. I can do anything I put my mind to. Like, it's not even that hard. I know exactly what I would have to do, but I also have to sell my soul to do it, and I'm just not. I am unwilling to do what is required, and that is the ongoing conflict that I have in my head. No, Lily Tang Williams is not a grifter, and Lily Tang Williams is awesome, but Lily Tang Williams doesn't have numbers, and that's what we're talking about. Like, so that's not going to work. I mean, Tim's audience hates him. And this is the other thing too, is like, is I never want to get into it. Like, Tim wanted to grow to the largest possible audience at all costs. Dave Rubin, the same thing, wanted to grow to the largest possible audience at all costs. I mean, maybe Dave Rubin's audience hates him a little less than Tim Pool's audience hates him, but like, Tim Pool's audience hates him. Tim Pool's audience watches Tim to hate Tim. And it's like, that's the price you pay, man. That is the price you pay. It might sound like a great idea to be swimming in super chats and to have all these people watching you and to be able to build this media empire, but Tim's audience hates him. I would never want that. I wouldn't do that. Someone comes on my channel, gives me a hard time, I block them and I never have to hear from them again, and that's perfectly fine for me. Yeah, I like Adam a lot. I like Adam Green, like, a lot. And so he's welcome on anytime, and I would probably go back on his thing if he wanted me on. But that chat was rough, and that was surprising to me, and I wasn't expecting it, and I don't think my audience was expecting it, because I hadn't had to deal with those I hadn't had to deal like, that was no white guilt's audience. I know exactly who that was, and I hadn't had to deal with that in a long ass time, and because I blocked them all on my channel. They don't have access to me. So I mean, maybe he's good, but again, the question is, am I willing to do what's required to network with him and schmooze with him and like baby and I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not willing to do it. And it also, by the way, if I get the wrong audience on my channel, it fucks up my ability to teach the right people. I mean, you guys see what happens when the wrong people come in for Socialism Saturday and they think it's going to be owning the libs and they just start acting like you guys see what happens. It does not work. And it's like the only reason I'm able to teach effectively is because I so carefully curate my audience. Oh no, Candace Owens fucking hates me. The reason I know Candace Owens hates me is that I never interacted with Candace Owens on Twitter, and she proactively sought me out to block me after I interviewed Nicole Arbor on my channel for basically what happened is Candace Owens recorded private phone calls with Nicole Arbor and was going to throw Nicole Arbor under the bus on her very first show with the Daily Wire by playing the privately recorded phone calls. And Nicole Arbor got proof of this later, and so she put out this video about it, and I had her on my channel because I was like one of the people that like was on her side, and I figured it out based on the video. That it was kind of like the Project Veritas stuff. It's like I looked at evidence and I figured stuff out that no one else did. So Nicole Arbor came on my channel and I talked to her about it, and then Candace Owens proactively sought me out on Twitter to block me, and I wasn't upset. Candace Owens also just did the worst hit piece I've ever seen on Eliza Blue, and Eliza Blue I consider a friend, and I know I have a really good sense of what happened and what did not happen, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I find what happened to Eliza Blue to be like one of the most disgusting things I've ever witnessed on the internet, and it just sickens me. It absolutely sickens me what people did to her. And Candace Owens did the worst hit piece video on her, and I debunked all of it. And so Candace Owens can eat several dicks. I would never. I would never. I don't care how much Nick Fuentes likes Candace Owens. I would never go on any show with her. I would never do an interview with her. I don't care. Again, this is going back to like I am unwilling to do what's required. I don't care if I got a million new followers from it. I would never do it. Nope. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I mean, it might be interesting to have that conversation with him, but yeah, I mean, I don't know the backstory to any of that. I would be like, tell me, hey man, go tell him to reach out to me. I don't mean to sound like a diva or anything. I'm just like not willing. I don't know him. I don't have any mutual contacts with him that I know of. Like, go do what the internet does and tell him to reach out and talk to me if you want me to talk. I just don't like it's no shade on him. I don't know anything about him. I mean, she seems to be fine. She's online, but I don't think she does a lot on Twitter anymore. She looks good. She always looks beautiful though. Well, this is definitely something in his favor. Like it does seem like he hates James Lindsay, and so maybe we can bond over that. James Lindsay, fuck James Lindsay, like right in the ass, man. Seriously. Anyway, that's just the conflict that I have, and like as much as I want, I feel bad because I feel like we just go round and round and round and round and round about these ideas, but like the reality is, like I don't know what to do. But I know I have such a strong aversion to things. Like, I can't. No, no, fuck you, Joseph, fuck you. No. I wish it was. I. And then it really upsets me that I even have to think about this because it really burns me that this is what's required to get people to look at what the truth is. It really just burns me, man. It's like, and part of me loves exposing these grifter shill influencers. I know it's like a secondary goal, but part of me loves loves exposing these grifter shill influencers for what they are, just by showing people. Like the thing with trigonometry and Konstantin Kisin, that worked out so perfectly. For those who don't know, my audience, and this happened months ago, my audience had been haranguing me. Why don't you go on trigonometry? Why don't you go on trigonometry? Why don't you go on trigonometry? Why don't you go? Now, in my head, I'm going, because Konstantin Kisin is a fucking grifter and I don't want anything to do with that. And there's no way they'd have me on anyway. And they're gonna be in Dave Rubin's camp. And Konstantin Kisin is a fucking ass grifter. And like that's what's going on in my head, right? I'm like in my head, I'm like, I want nothing to do with fucking trigonometry. First of all, I was already on trigonometry back in the day. They already knew me. It's not like they couldn't have had me on if they wanted. So I knew that they didn't want me on for some reason. They're also playing way too much into this conservative bullshit, like, second coming of the intellectual dark web, even though that's bullshit too, like that whole thing. I was like, in my head, I'm going, I don't want anything I can do with that. And so like my audience was haranguing me about this for like months. And so finally a member of my audience went on to Trigonometry's live stream, and I didn't know she was doing this. And she sent in a super chat asking about me. Why won't you have Carlin on? Or like something maybe more nice than that. And Konstantin Kisin was like, oh, well, all Carlin does is get in fights with people and blah, blah, blah. And he did this in front of a live stream. And so I found out about this because the person told me. And I was like, okay, now here's my chance. And I fucking DM'd Konstantin Kisin because he was following me at that time on Twitter. And I said so nicely, I played it fucking so nicely and so beautifully. And I can show the receipts of this, and I have shown the receipts before. I said, hey, Konstantin, I heard that someone asked you about me, and you said that your perception is just that I get into fights with people. Well, I just want you to know that here's the work that I've been working on for the last year. And I sent him a list of like my greatest hits articles, like all the investigative journalism, all the undercover journalism that I did in 2023, all of these things. I sent him a fucking list of that. He could have literally it would have taken less than a minute for him to glance at it, right? It wouldn't have taken any time at all. And he writes me back and he says, well, Carlin, I just think you get in too many fights with too many people. And I said, well, that's the work I'm actually doing. I'd love to discuss it if you guys want. And he put a little heart on it. And that was the last I ever heard of him. And then I checked the next day. He had unfollowed me on Twitter just from that exchange because I sent him a list of articles that and the original journalism that I had done from the whole previous year. Some like really good shit in there, man. I did a lot of cool stuff in 2023 and had stories no one else had. He unfollowed me on Twitter because I sent that to him. And then I checked back like a week later and he blocked me. And I was like, and I got to, and for me, that's actually a win because I'm like, holy shit. Now I have all these receipts to be able to show my audience every single time they bring up fucking trigonometry. Do you want me to show you who Konstantin Kisin is? Let me show you who Konstantin Kisin is. Konstantin Kisin doesn't give a fuck about any of this. Konstantin Kisin gives a fuck about building a brand and being the savior of liberal values, darling, even though he has no fucking clue what's going on. Doesn't care what's going on. And look at this exchange I had with him where I tried to tell him very, very nicely, extraordinarily nicely. I tried to show him, I tried to tell him, and he just wasn't interested, and he wanted to perpetuate the rumors. You just get into a lot of fights with people. I love exposing influencers like that. I just love it. Because if you are a grifter fucking shill, you deserve to be exposed. I'm sorry. And this is another reason I will never be on these big shows because I'm too much of a wild card for these people. And that's fine with me. Because like it's like one of those things is like people might say like, "Why are you burning so many bridges?" Do you want me to fight to maintain bridges with grifters? No. I am feeling Jennifer. I feel like I have a fucking wall in front of me. That's honestly what it feels like. Like every time I start to go down this road in my head where I'm like, maybe I should just play the fucking game. Maybe I should just play the fucking game. Maybe it is honestly like a wall comes down. A wall comes down. I'm like, nope. That like even if I even if I convinced myself that it was a good idea, I would not be able to do it. I would not be able to move. And I'm like, that has to mean something. That's not just anxiety. That is a sign that this is not the path I'm supposed to take. So fine, that's not the path I'm supposed to take. I'm perfectly fine with that. What path am I supposed to take then? How am I supposed to what the fuck is the point of what I'm doing if I can't find an audience to who is interested to see it? It's like I have the real life dystopia. I have it. I have the fucking real life dystopia. I have everything. I have everything documented. I know the real people. I know the real organizations. I can show people the things that they've only read about in dystopian fiction, but it's fucking real. And so I know there's an audience for dystopian fiction, but maybe there's not so much a crossover between people who like dystopian fiction and people who want to know that dystopia is real and it's happening all around us right now. Maybe that's just too much for people. I don't know. Like my audience right now is fucking awesome. I genuinely love my audience right now. I have never been so happy that I curated a niche audience. I look at how much Tim Pool's audience hates him. Jordan Peterson blocked me on Twitter for saying he should talk to Nick Fuentes. So I don't think that's gonna work out. Like, really, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being a world-renowned psychologist and you block people on Twitter that say you should talk to a 25-year-old? Like, can you seriously imagine that? Like, I actually am a psychologist. I like in real life, I'm a fucking psychologist. And you know what's not gonna piss me off to the point where I'm blocking someone? Someone saying you should talk to a 25-year-old. Bro, no, 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 never, ever, 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 no. So how do I find more people like my current audience? Because that's all I want. I just want more people like the audience I already have. I just don't know where they are. I don't know who this is. Who is this? I would never. Nope. Sargon has always hated me from day one. I never did anything to him, but he's always hated me. So I'm not really that interested. I don't think Sargon's that smart, and I definitely don't think he understands what I do, and that's fine. The issue is that a lot of us are scattered amongst the very audiences that are chock full of those who are too blissfully ignorant to realize what's going on. I mean, how do you guys stand it? I really do mean that. I cannot stand it to be around people who don't know what's going on. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I had a paying subscriber on Twitter tonight. This person pays $5 a month to subscribe to me on Twitter. I don't really understand why, because this person has never learned anything from me. And they were and this person on Twitter, who again is paying me money to teach them, presumably, actually tried to gaslight me to pressure me to say what they wanted me to say. And they're like, well, then you are just, if you won't cater to me, then you are just too self-centered. And I was like, go fucking learn from someone else. Go to the fucking Daily Wire. They will take your money and they will tell you all the lies that you want to believe, bro. Like, I am not a teacher to you. No, I'm not going to Pork Fest. I canceled Pork Fest. I canceled them entirely because Constance can eat so many dicks. And Carla too, man. I'm like so disappointed in Constance Spencer and Carla Garrick. Constance is the organizer of Pork Fest, and she is just. I have never met Constance last year during the RFK speech. Came into the RFK building, the fucking field house, screaming at everyone, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Get out! You're not like scream." I have never seen anything like this. Like, it was absurd. And that is the energy that Constance has all the time. She is an awful person. She is an awful event organizer. She is an awful fucking realtor. Constance, in one of the Pork Fest Telegram groups, made this big ol' stink about how it was a waste of her time to talk to new movers, like potential new movers to New Hampshire, because she didn't believe that I had people in my community that were thinking about moving to New Hampshire, even though they literally came to Porkfest last year and were house hunting. Constance Spencer and her bullshit drove like 6 people away. Like legitimate new movers from my community that I brought to Porkfest last year that they were house hunting. And Constance Spencer and her bullshit temper tantrums drove them away because they just weren't worth her time or her energy. And she couldn't be bothered to answer one simple question from them. That is the true story. And when I went to Carla, because Carla was in charge of the Free State Project at that time, I said, Carla, Constance is pissing off people in my community who literally came to Pork Fest last year to house hunt. What the fuck? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And Carla didn't want to do anything about it. And I gave her time and I checked in multiple times and Carla refused to do anything about it. So you know what? You want to fucking scare away just for no good reason other than you're being an evil cunt? Like, you want to scare away multiple people from my community who took time out of their schedule to come to New Hampshire, to come to Porkfest, to house hunt because they asked you a question and you didn't feel like answering it? Like, no, I don't want to be involved in that. No way. No, no, no. I've been to Porkfest several times. I love so many of the people at Porkfest. I was going to sell merch this year. I had a great tent, like great fucking campsite, and I called and I canceled it because I don't want to be around them. It is actually more, again, it's like the same thing with like the influencers. It is more stressful for me to even think about interacting with these people than it's worth it. So sadly, I will not be at Porkfest this year. So it really does make me sad. But I mean, I think this might be one of the most helpful things that can be done. Honestly, I think that people sharing my content, whether it be the articles or the videos or anything like that, I think that that's actually like the most helpful thing that can be done because that's the only way to get in front of like real people. Sounds like people just want talking points and narratives. But that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I don't think Eric Weinstein would be a good interview. I don't think that would work out. He strikes me as one of those people who thinks he knows everything, but in fact knows nothing. No, 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 mm-mm, no, not even the right audience, not the right audience. They just want to be entertained, and it's fine to want to be entertained, but we have to admit that that's not. So it really burns me. It really, really does. It really fucking burns me. Then people tell me, they're like, "You need to hire a PR consultant," and I'm like, "Fuck right off." Like, honestly. Well, like, how is he doing? I have no idea even what Adam's doing these days. I really don't. I haven't looked at Adam's stuff in like years and years and years. I would doubt it. And then, do I even want that? Do I even want it? I don't think so. Whatever happened to Lydia, by the way? Whatever happened to Lydia? Is Lydia even on the internet anymore? I was looking for her the other day. I couldn't find her anywhere. Oh, wow. Adam really isn't getting that many views, is he? Is he even streaming really anymore? Maybe he just takes down his live streams. Huh? Lydia had a kid and then pieced out. Well, I guess I can take some consolation in knowing that, ironically, I outlasted both Adam and Lydia. It seems like isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I really do want people to know. I really do want to reach more people. I really do want people to understand. I just don't know how to do it. I mean, what is required? And I'm honestly asking, because I feel like the most important thing that needs to happen is for people to share what I'm doing, and to like invite other people to the streams, and to share my videos, and to share my articles and that sort of stuff. And I feel like it's kind of one of those things that, like, I feel like I'm just out of control with, because I can't force anyone to do anything. I can't force people to mount the like button. I can't force people to hit subscribe. I can't force people to show up every day at 5 p.m. I can't force people to share things out. I can't force people to tweet stuff. I can't force any of that. Like, people have to want to do it. And I mean, I don't know how, like, is there a way that other people coordinate that type of stuff? Like, is there a way other creators coordinate that type of stuff? Like, how does it work? Do I need to start begging on stream? Like, have you guys remembered to share? Have you guys remembered to like? Have you guys like every 5 minutes? Is that what I have to do? Because that doesn't seem like fun to me. There's some sort of like social media strategy I need to engage that I just haven't figured out yet, because I'm fucking old and I don't want to do any of this stuff anymore. I don't know. I really don't. I appreciate that. I have like 19 podcasts. I really do. Okay, maybe not 19. 19 might be an exaggeration, but I have been like Joshua and I were actually just talking today about how I need to double down on podcasting because I did a poll in my chat. Here, I'll show you guys. So this is my Substack, carlin.substack.com. Go and find the link below. In the Substack, I have a chat, which is actually kind of a neat feature. And sometimes I chat in like with information or things going on or like whatever. And I did this poll yesterday where I asked people, which do you find most useful from me? Is it written content, podcasts, or video clips? And almost everyone answered either podcasts or video clips, which honestly really bums me out because it's the written content that I like doing more than anything. I don't want to be on the internet. I'm a writer. I'm only here because I have to be. But I have podcasts and I have 2 podcasts. I have the Actively Unwoke podcast, which is just labeled podcast on the menu. And you can find the Actively Unwoke podcast on iTunes and Spotify and all the things. And you can also get it on my Substack. And why is my mouse not working? Why is my mouse not working? Why is everything freezing? No! Okay, it's working now. Never mind. Crisis averted. It's working. It's working. Everything just froze. For some reason. There it goes. So I have this. This is my free podcast. I actually just posted an episode yesterday. There are 50 episodes of it. I also have the Inner Circle podcast, which is my subscriber only podcast. This is only I would never be high on the internet, Patrick. I don't know what you're talking about. It would never ever happen. This is for my Substack subscribers. And it's just like some stuff goes a little bit more in depth, a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. I actually read the Unabomber manifesto for this podcast in 3 parts. I'm going to start reading queer anarchist literature for it and breaking it down. Anyway, so I have podcasts, and Joshua and I were talking about how maybe I should double down on podcasts because maybe that's just like what people want. And maybe it's a matter of like going back and recording my articles and releasing podcast versions of the articles and stuff like that. I don't want to collaborate. I don't want to collaborate. First off, do you guys know what a pain in the ass it is to coordinate guests? Do you know what else I could be doing with that time? Like almost anything. I could be sleeping. I could be on Twitter. I could be writing. I could be making content that's absolutely actually valuable. I don't want to collaborate. I don't know how much more clear I can be about this. I don't want to collaborate with grifters and liars and people who just want to be famous on the fucking internet who are not remotely smart enough to understand what I'm doing. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, Amelia. That is definitely the problem. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you, Tiff. I appreciate that. Hormaxer was a fun stream. I was very drunk. Never again. I was so drunk on that stream. Holy shit. I had a hangover. I was so drunk. I had a hangover the next day. I never have hangovers. I probably haven't had a hangover in about a year. That's how drunk I was. It was fun. People had fun. That's what matters. Sometimes it's okay to have fun. Look, Pork Fest sticker on my desk. Ooh, porcupine, starry night. I mean, it's hard to have like that perspective, right? And thinking about like it's funny that I like that you guys are telling me that like no one watches Adam streams anymore. And it's like that whole crew used to give me so much shit. They were like, "You're driving everyone away. That's why your streams are dried up." Well, I mean, I really think like just I think it's just like I think just I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this. I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think with the exception of like very, very few channels, a lot of stuff on YouTube is just dried up. Like, I mean, that's my perception of it anyway. And it's like, I mean, I still do it because I still do pretty well in super chats. And so like I make nothing off of YouTube in terms of like advertising. So the numbers don't actually matter to me because like I'm doing okay in super chats. And so and my main content source is subscriptions on my Substack. So it's like it gives me a chance to research and stuff like that. But I mean, I just feel like it's perspective building to think about how like, Adam's audience has migrated, which I don't think was a great audience for my content anyway, but that's just like the way this stuff works, I think. Now, Adam and Lydia had bits of Tim's audience, but that burned out within a year or so. I don't think they gained anyone outside that ecosystem. Well, I think that that's true of like a lot of people. And it's like, I am very grateful that I found the niche that I did because no one else was doing what I was doing. And so I do think that that helped me. It's ironic. I just like, so I really, I think that my niche had like, I think they're like, I have started growing. Like, so I was basically handed an audience on a silver platter in 2020. But I think that a lot of the audience, like, that I have now, it was almost like I actually like, I started growing it organically. So it's not like I'm not experiencing growth in my audience, and I know that. It's just it's hard because the audience I was handed in 2020 is not the right audience for what I'm doing now. It's just completely not the right audience. And so it's like, of course they were going to cycle away. Now they might not unsubscribe from the channel, but of course they were going to cycle away. So it's like the audience that I have now, it has been built organically, but I want more of them. Well, yeah, I mean, there was never a better time to stream on the internet than during COVID, man. There was never a better time than when people were home and they were just fucking around all day. I mean, do I need to change the time of my streams? Would that be better? I don't want to overlap with Tim's show because I do think that there is a fair bit of I mean, I know a lot of people in my audience like to watch Tim on occasion. I don't necessarily know that they're part of his audience, but I know a lot of people like to watch him, and so I don't want to overlap with his show. I mean, this is it too, and I understand this. I was just saying the other day, like back in 2020 when I left the left, like I knew my story was real. I never wanted to be in politics. I didn't know any of these people. And so I knew like my story accidentally went viral on the internet. It wasn't something I planned. It wasn't something I ever expected to happen. And when it did, a lot of people said, "You're a grifter, you're fake, you're a grifter, you're fake." Like, I mean, a whole fucking year of this shit. Like, I mean, even after, like, even to this day, people still call me a grifter and say that I faked leaving the left. And it's like, bitch, I know what my story is. I know what happened. I know everything I said was true. I know I have receipts for all of it. Like, eat a dick or whatever. But like I couldn't understand during 2020 why people were saying that because I'm like, I literally have evidence of this. Like, I literally documented the whole thing on my Instagram. Like, I have Facebook posts of where I was writing about it. It's like it's not a secret. Like that, this was like it's not the evidence is there if people wanted to look at it. It's not like, you know, you can't go back and fake some of the things that I did. But now, looking back on the situation, I totally fucking get it because it wasn't about me. It wasn't anything personal. It was that so many people had lied. So many people had lied about changing their Dave Rubin was one of them. Dave Rubin was a key part of my fucking 2020 journey, right? Dave Rubin lied. He fucking lied. And I bought it. I really believed it, man. And I knew him in person. I'd had private conversations with the guy. I knew him in person. And I believed it. I really like I would text with him when I was running around, like doing the rallies with Walkaway and stuff like that. And like I really believed it was real. And then just to what like I mean, looking back on it, I'm like, holy shit. Maybe he actually convinced himself it was real and that's why it seemed real. Like, I don't know, but it obviously wasn't because he changed so quickly. Many intelligent people have been led astray with James or someone else. It'll take time to win them back. See, this is what I'm saying though, and this is why I'm like, how do I reach those people? Because it's not fair to them. But at the same time, I don't want to reach them because I'm like of two minds about all this. Like I want to reach them because I'm like James is fucking lying to you. He's fucking lying to you. He's fucking lying to you. He's lying to you. He's lying to you. He's lying to you. But at the same time, if they won't look, if they have no desire to look, I'm like, okay, well you get what you get. Good luck. Yeah, like I cannot stand the political space. I cannot stand the talking points in the political space. I just like it's I want to beat my head against the wall every time I hear a political talking point. I don't know how people do it. Like there are people that I knew in 2020 that are literally on the internet repeating exactly the same talking points that they were repeating in 2020. I would like I don't even know what to say. Like I would never. I couldn't. Well, and this is why it's so important to me too, where I'm like, I'm literally just showing you the trainings. This is why I created the policy that I have of like, there are receipts for everything. And maybe sometimes it'll take longer, but like there are fucking receipts for everything. And we're going to watch the trainings from start to finish. We're not clipping any shit out of context. We're going to read the papers from start to finish. We're going to look at everything from start to finish. Because I don't want anyone to be able to say that it's just like made up for any reason. And I also don't want people to have to be like, "Oh, I don't trust her. I heard all this shit about her." Okay, I'm literally just showing you the video. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing you the fucking video. I didn't create the video. I mean, it kind of looks like it. Joe Rogan always thought that he lied about the conversion to being a classical liberal. Joe Rogan like barred Dave from coming back on his show because he thought Dave lied. And I was at the time I was like, that's stupid. Dave didn't lie, but like I looking back, I'm like, maybe he did lie. Maybe Joe Rogan was right. We should absolutely harass James. Like, there's just no way around this. I hope people understand this, right? Like, I want to create, I want to force people into a position of you will choose. You are either team Carlin or you are team James. You will choose. Battle lines are fucking drawn. And we may have the smaller team, and that's fine to have the smaller team. I have no problem with being the scrappy underdog. But what he's doing is wrong. It's wrong. It's fucking evil what he's doing. Tell me you know nothing about me and haven't listened to a word I've said without telling me, bro. But I don't care if James's audience is upset with me. I don't care. I don't care. This is the thing, Amelia. I don't care. I don't care because it's first of all, it's only the loudest sycophantic people that are going to be upset with me anyway. And it's like those are people who are never going to be in my audience. So like what do I care about oppressing them? They're loud fucking sycophants that only want to suck the cock of their favorite influencer. Like I don't care. But in their complaining, other people who are quiet, who aren't loud sycophants, might get exposed to what I'm doing. I know that what I'm doing with this James stuff has brought people in James's audience to my content. I know it, 100% sure. And when I'm able to get James's audience to actually watch my fucking content, they get converted fast. They really do. When they sit down and they watch the content, which is what I need people to do to be in my audience, right? They get converted so fast and they start to see we're talking like a week or two, and they're mine. And when they convert to me, not only do they abandon what James is doing, they fucking hate him for it. They hate him for all of the lies that he told them. All the things he never showed them. So those are exactly the type of people I need. And might I get heat from the James sycophants? Yeah, I am, and I will continue to do so. But in the process, I really am starting to think that's the very best way to start to undermine James's Gnostic bullshit. Get your unwoke propaganda from Carlin's store and make it yourself. Yeah, we should do that. Holy shit, Alex, that's a great idea. We should go hand out literature at the fair. I should get a booth at the fair. I fucking love the fair. Can we just talk about the fair I fucking love the fair. I love the fair. The fair is so cheesy, but I love it. I love all things cheesy and like nostalgic, and just like the fair and the carnival have like such I fucking love it. I wonder how much it would cost to get like a booth at the Big E. That's in Massachusetts. It's a big ass fair. I wonder how much that would cost. Can we coordinate an effort where people print stuff off from like, hang on, if people haven't seen this. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that website. Not that Unwoke website. The other Unwoke website. I have a whole fucking Unwoke empire of website. So I have this website called Unwoke Underground where people can go on and they can print off like flyers and zines and stuff. And everything's there. Everything's free to use. Just don't fuck with it. And they've got QR codes that go to my Substack. And they look cool. And they're all different types. And you can mix and match. And you can put stuff together. And there's also merch in my store that aligns with this stuff. And you can come and help us make this stuff in the supporter Discord. It's got all these cool designs. And then there are stickers. and like pins and stuff like that, and those look cool. And so you can go and print that stuff up, and we're gonna make a whole bunch more of it. And what I want to do is like, can we do a campaign where everyone prints stuff off and brings it to the fair and hands it out at the fair, and like take pictures of it, take pictures with people holding it like all over the country? Can we do that? That'd be awesome. Hand it out at the fair, hand it out at dispensaries, hand it out at bookstores, coffee shops, like hang up flyers in supermarket, college campuses. We need to do for the fall, when kids go back to school in the fall, we need to do a fucking like papering, stickering campaign on college campuses all over the place. Like anywhere there are billboards and stuff like that. Flea markets, I guess. I'm not familiar with flea markets, but I'll take your word for it, T-Bone Man. Like that would be so fucking cool. I want to get so many pictures. I want to get people like printing stuff off like that all over the place. And we can make some more normal looking things too if people are just more comfortable with that. But I think the illustrated ones look awesome. Um, I want to do like, I want to get just a massive amount of pictures of like people printing out those flyers and things and like stickering. And I'm gonna make other stickers too. That you can just like slap on like a flag, like a telephone pole, or like something like a light changing thing on the street or something like that. I want to get, I want to do a thing where we just like we basically all sign up and we pick a weekend and we just go out and post those shit everywhere. We take pictures of it. Taking pictures is key because I want to see it show up in the real world. So if people drop off literature at a coffee shop, take a picture. If people are postering on a college campus, take a picture. In my dream world, what I would like to do is find a queer coffee shop and go there in the dark of night around like 3 a.m. or so and bring a bunch of giant ass queer Marxism 101 posters and just fucking poster the entire outside of the queer coffee shop, to the point where when the owner comes in the next day, he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he calls the police, and the police call the news, and then the news comes, and then they film the front of this coffee store that is just like filled with all of this hang on, like we print off giant ass posters of like the queer ones, the queer theory stuff, and like there's just the whole front of the building is the queer theory posters, and it's all fucking accurate. And so the news comes and they just film the whole thing with all these posters because they're so pissed off, and they like accuse us of like a hate crime or something. That's my dream of what I actually want to have happen. I basically am creating my own Project Mayhem. I'm creating my own Project Mayhem, but no blowing shit up and no violence and no hurting people. I just want to hang up signs and posters and stickers and hand out literature. That's it. But maybe in a little bit of a trolly way. Could it blow back on me? I mean, sure, but isn't it cool? I think it'd be fun. Anyway, does anyone have questions or thoughts? Biker rallies. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I'm creating my own Project Mayhem. And like, listen, man, how blessed am I that I get to do stuff like this on the internet? You know what? Fuck it. Maybe the audience just is like you can't force this. It's like I know you can't force it. God, and my audience is so rad, and I don't want to fuck with it in terms of trying to grow the audience inorganically, because I did that once and it was awful. So maybe this is just a matter of figuring out a way to get more organic growth through people getting people to share stuff. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I talked with my father about queer Marxists, and he is convinced that the Malthusians will overtake them when well, that's because the right has convinced everyone that the WEF is the biggest conspiracy theory, and they're wrong. I'm sorry. No, I don't agree. The WEF does not have control over the institutions in America. They just don't. I'm sorry. That's just like it's they might in Europe, fine, but I disagree with this. I think it's short-sighted, and I think it's reflective of I think it's reflective of conservatives lying to their audiences. We don't have the time though. It's like I just wish I had more help. And there are so many people who do so much. Jennifer does so fucking much. Jennifer runs movie nights. Like, there's so many people in my community who do a lot, and so I don't wanna make it seem like I'm unappreciative of the people in my community who do a lot, or the people who are already supporting my work. I just wish I had more people sharing my content out there more consistently. I wish I had more people that were actively engaging on Twitter to share the content. I wish I had more people that were, like, reply guying the shit out of these lying, grifting influencers. I just wish I had more people, like, that would mount the fucking like button when they come on a stream, that would make sure they're subscribed, that would like, you know, that would show up for like the socialism Saturdays, or even just for a couple minutes, or that would click the goddamn videos when they're served to them on YouTube, so that I don't get shadow banned to high heaven. You know, it's just like I wish I could make more. And I'm swimming upstream from everyone else's stupid content. No, I'm not going on the whatever podcast. Absolutely not. Come on. But I know you're just kidding. Ooh. I could do a whole plague doctor theme at the fair. I could sell merch at the fair. That's actually a really good idea. Hmm. Who's saying this? Some influencers are saying the Marxist idea forming in America is a conspiracy theory. Who's saying that? Seriously? No, I'm not going to spend money on that. I think that's a waste of money, to be honest with you. I've never been able to make that work. I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling like a blender or even a book that most people would want to read. I'm selling fucking socialist dystopia. Like, I don't think it's exactly this. I'm not selling news. I'm not selling pop culture. I'm not selling boobs. I'm not selling. No. Hard no. Hard no to him. The TP USA talk fully convinced me that James Lindsay is a grift. I needed to see that, and it revealed how desperate people are to cling to a savior. They will ignore their own theology to win the godly war. Yeah, I don't think James understands what he's doing. James is going to look back on this at some point and regret many of the decisions that he's made. And part of me kind of feels bad for him, but not really, because they're his decisions, and we tried to help him. And he didn't listen. No, because I cover it in a completely different it would be okay, do you wanna donate the money? How much do you wanna donate for me to experiment with this? Are you a paying member of my Substack? I don't think that's gonna work out. Looking at first glance, the Connecticut building at the Big E, if one is rented a part-time 10 by 10 exhibit space for 7 days. Really? It's only $1,155 for 7 days? That's pretty cheap, actually. Do I wanna be in the Connecticut can I be in the New Hampshire building? I would do it in the New Hampshire building. Maybe I should go instead of going to Pork Fest, I'm gonna go to the fair for the week. Everyone who buys $100 or more in merch gets a free bag of deep fried Oreos. Oh, I can see Jim on Twitter is about to get blocked. Congratulations, Jim, on getting blocked. Hang on. Gotta go in and block the trolls on Twitter who are probably 500 pounds in their mom's basement because they just can't resist saying, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're fat, you're ugly, me." It's so tiring. This is so it's so tiring. I mean, seriously, people like this, so goddamn tiring. Like, why? Why do people bother? Why do they bother? Oh, I can do a pop-out chat on Twitter? Isn't that interesting? Does that make it easy for me to block people when they show up and do stuff like this? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see who Jim is. Let's see who this guy is. Jim is a proud Christian Jew. Oh, look, he's a groiper. He's a groiper. So he's just jealous. Jim is jealous that I got invited as a VIP to AFPAC and he didn't. And I'm going to go to AFPAC and he's not. And now Jim is blocked. Goodbye, Jim. I mean, Jim doesn't have any pictures online, so we don't know what Jim looks like, and that's very, very typical. Not all the grapers are like that, though. Just the loud ones are, the annoying ones are, but it's the same with everything. It's like in any audience, there are loud people that are annoying AF, and it can be easy to believe that that's the majority of the audience, but they're not the majority of the audience. They're just the loudest people in the audience. And so it can be easy to believe that all the groypers are annoying assholes, and many of them are. But there are also some groypers that are really, really sweet. And that's just that's been my experience. There are some groypers that are just really nice and really sweet. And there's something about that. I don't know. Yeah, he probably looks like a Ralph male. Exactly. I think a billboard is like the biggest waste of money on the planet. What am I going to get from that? Nothing. Yeah, I mean, like there's 93 people watching on YouTube right now, and there's not that many people chatting in. It's the same thing. And that's fine if people just want to watch, that's fine. Yeah, Jennifer actually knows what I look like in person. Which apparently I actually keep hearing from people, and I'm not sure I actually agree with this, but, like, I have heard from, like, many people that they thought I was, like, way fatter on the internet, and then they see me in person, they're like, "Oh, wow, you're not." Actually had this happen multiple times where they go, "Oh, you're not actually that fat." I'm like, "Thanks." It's like, I mean, the camera does definitely add weight, but, like, it's like I've had multiple instances in the last year where I've met people that only know me from the internet, and they're like, "Oh, wow, you're much thinner than I thought you'd be." Like, "Fuck you." I don't wear plus size clothes or anything, like whatever. There are 2 people who need to like the way I look, and that's me and my husband, and that's it. That's it. I don't actually know if that's true. I actually lost a bunch of weight in 2020, but I feel like I've gone up and down. I don't know. I saw a full body video of you at an event and you were just a little thick. Well, I definitely have an ass. I absolutely have an ass and thighs. Absolutely. Like, it's on. Hang on. I mean, here's a video. Here's a well, I'm not going to show the video, but like, here's me from the walkaway rally. This is back in 2020, but I don't actually think I look significantly different than this now. Yeah, I'll show you the thumbnail. Like, I'm not like obese. Like, I do have a little bit of a belly and I've got an ass, but like, I'm not. I'm really like, I mean, I love those fucking leggings too. People make fun of me for those leggings. I fucking love those leggings. I love them. Whatever. I think they're great. Anyway, we're just hanging out. Like, if anyone has any questions or anything they want to know, I'm probably gonna wrap it up pretty soon. It's 2 a.m. Oh, I know what video you're talking about. Hang on, I'll show you. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? I don't wear glasses all the time. Oh, is it on here anymore? Huh. I know what one you're talking about. I can't find it right now. Yeah, I mean, actually, fun fact, I actually have the same muscle fibers as elite athletes. Like elite athletes, you have to have like a very specific type of like high twitch like muscle fiber, and I do actually have that. Like, if I go to the gym and I commit to like a routine at the gym, I get in shape so fucking quickly. If I go weight train, I'm extremely strong. I'm stronger than most women. I used to love free weights too. I love weightlifting. And I just get in shape very, very, very quickly. So if I want, if I really wanted to lose weight, I could lose weight very quickly. I'm just not that motivated. All right. If I went to the gym, I would have less time whining and complaining on the internet with you guys. Can film my workouts. No, I'm never gonna do that shit. Fuck that. No. I have thought about going back and getting back into the gym though, because I genuinely do like weight training. I used to do Orange Theory almost every day, and I so got off on at Orange Theory because like there would be days like, if we were like doing like chest presses or things like that, I would use heavier weights than most of the men at Orange Theory. I was like, I got up to where I was doing like chest presses with like these are dumbbells. These are like free weights. I was using like 70 to 80 pounds free weights to do chest presses, and most men were like not going anywhere close to that. And I was like, I always felt proud of myself that I could do that. And I was one of the like for rowing, I rode like the 200-meter faster than almost anyone at my Orange Theory. And like again, that includes like I was exerting more like watts than a lot of men. And I love that shit. I fucking love it. Now I kind of suck at endurance, which is ironic because I have run marathons. I used to be a runner, but like I'm much better with like the shorter, like the bursts of energy. Anyway, I don't really have much else to talk about. Thank you guys for listening to me pontificate. I really just wanted to talk more than anything, and sometimes you just need to talk things through, and it helps to have an audience, and it just helps. So I appreciate it. Don't let the bed bugs bite, or is that saying too old? It's a little bit of an old saying, but everything old can be made like new again, I guess. You think I should go weight train? Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe, but leg day sucks. I hate leg day so much. Chest is my favorite for weight training. I like doing back too, I guess. I hate legs. I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway, I guess that's all I have. It's 2 a.m. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys. Bye. Have a good one.